Hey guys, cool blend on my back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
And we're back with Fruits Basket. Last time on, they were at a beach house.
Yeah, we heard from Hattori and Shigure about Kureno a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Akito came to the house to rain on everyone's parade. And everyone's there except for Toru and Kyo, who were not invited.
Yeah, and Yuki, because he had his, emotional gunshot to the head by Akito a lot earlier along the road, so he just took a walk along the beach.
He took a constitutional.
Yeah.
But he seemed to be holding up okay.
Yeah, he's making breakthroughs. Every episode, it seems like.
Indeed.
And having fevers with him or something. I don't know. But...
he's always been a little sickly. Akito also seems bothered by that as well, currently, I think. He doesn't like the heat of the beach.
No, she doesn't.
And what is the guy who's with him? What's his name?
Kureno?
Yes. So who is he, and how does he fit into all this?
He's the rescue target.
Well, let's find out. So,
did Akihito freaking, mess up Kureno somehow? No longer a member of the Zodiac?
Well, inferior creature you've become. I don't know what that means. That would make sense for, the dragon and the seahorse, you know? Yeah, once you were a dragon, but now you're just the seahorse. But, a rooster, it's just a rooster. Unless... it was like a cockatrice or something before.
I mean, if I had a rooster freaking running after me, trying to cut my tendons with its spurs, I'd be terrified and run.
It could also just be referring to, when he was talking to Hatsuharu, he's you're the fool. So he could be talking he's inferior just as, a person.
Yeah.
Or a servant, or whatever it is that he is. But the last. So that means Akito is not a member of the Zodiac.
But there is still some sort of a strange power over specifically the members of the Zodiac.
Definitely. I mean, he's the head of the family. But he doesn't seem to change if you hug him. If he's ever been hugged by anyone outside of the Zodiac. Everyone's a lot more touchy-feely this season.
It's great. I mean, they're not in public, obviously.
Kyo and Yuki are, touching Toru. It's very different.
I mean, they've always done, that sort of thing and stuff, but...
Yeah. This is a little more sweet.
Yeah,
and I also,
nice.
I think the boundaries are a little different in Japan, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've read about such things as well, where it's much more, okay for, snuggling and such.
Yeah. Sitting on people's laps and...
Yeah. Whereas we were colonized by Puritans.
Yep, it runs deep.
Oh. So, Reen's been staying with Kagura and her family.
Mm-hmm.
Kagura didn't go to the beach house.
No, not yet, anyway.
But
it looked like she was on the warpath.
On her way.
It would make sense that she comes when Kyo is threatened. She can feel it.
Yeah.
Because it looks like normally he escapes Akito's
attentions.
But because he wants to take everything from Toru, he's got to take him too. And he feels threatened.
I keep saying he. You sure?
She, I don't know. Akito? It sounds like a boy's name.
What about Kagura?
It sounds like a girl's name. I don't know.
Once Kagura's bull is full grown, that would be terrifying.
Bull?
Not bull, but the
boar?
The boar,
the
hog.
pig?
Yeah, the boar. That's terrifying.
I mean, she's already pretty terrifying. I wonder what Yuki meant by Rin was like, if you tell anyone that I'm here, I'll kill you. And then Yuki said, you know that's impossible. Does that mean, like, because Yuki's really good at martial arts, and, like, Kyo can't beat him, so she can't beat him? Or is it, like, a Zodiac member can't kill another member of the Zodiac? Like vampires.
What? I don't think that's not applicable either. But, like, Kyo's obviously not held back by such things.
By killing members of the Zodiac?
I mean, he's gone whole hog against Yuki several times.
Maybe he hasn't killed him.
No.
That's a big difference, I think.
Yeah. So, Yuki took her serious enough to know that she maybe wanted to mean that, even if there's something possibly holding her back. Well, I still want to know, like, Akito and Kurano, that, like, whatever is up with Kurano, that guy is, like, whatever bit of him is still alive somewhere deep in his head is been locked away really tight, really deeply. Like,
I think the same's true for Rin. For Rin as well.
How did she get hurt?
Probably the same way that the little girl got hurt.
You mean Akito just beat her up?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's done it before. He's beat up Hattori.
The way Shigure and Hattori were talking about, like, with Toru, do you think Akihito wants to get rid of all the female members of the Zodiac somehow?
No, I don't think so.
Or is maybe obsessed with having all the attention of the
that I think
male
is much more
members
likely.
of the Zodiac?
Yeah, so like he doesn't want any of them dating anyone. Or maybe he does, because they need to be passed on, right? But
No. It doesn't matter. It could be. It's not necessarily through a direct descendant.
No, but there has to be a. Like, the bloodline has to continue.
Yeah, but Soma family's huge. Like, if the immediate people weren't, like, if all of the Zodiac members now did not have children, it would just appear in another
yeah, it
bit
would.
of the family.
But I mean, like 12 people is not a insignificant number in like a family. I feel like.
Well, yeah, but you gotta realize that they're also staggered by generation a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, not that much though. Like they're all within. Like I don't think Shigure could be any of their. Well, not any of their, but like he couldn't be Kyo's dad. I don't think he's old enough for that.
No, but they're like, I mean, Ayame's Yugi's brother, but there was like quite a distance between them.
Yeah.
I forget how old he looked in the cinematic thing, where he was like, I feel like he was like high school or something.
But I wonder, like, why are none of them old? Is it just a coincidence? Because you think there would be a bigger range than there is.
Maybe at some point in the past, a great deal of them got wiped out all at the same time and kind of synced up all their numbers.
Maybe. Kyo, like the grandfather lived to be pretty old, didn't he?
Well, it would be in their best interest not to have another cat appear.
True.
So if you have one person that just lives as long as possible and it basically skips a generation, that'd be the best possible outcome. So yeah, Kyo's life is probably the safest, but only as far as not being just murdered.
Well, I just wonder too if like, and again, I don't know if Akito is this like immortal being, like maybe he just tires of them eventually. He's like, I'm done with you.
Especially when it's like his
I want a
turn
new
today.
toy.
Yeah, it's like what is up with that? Just the constant. Constant.
Well,
against everybody.
I think it's, you know, he sees some of them starting to heal and he like picks at the scabs to make sure that they don't.
But what purpose do they possibly, like, does he want to turn them all into Kara now?
I think
Some sort of a...
I think he wants, complete obedience and admiration from all of them.
love.
Because I think
Strange version of love.
that's the only place he can get it from, because he has some sort of influence over them. But I don't see anyone else in the world like hanging out with him, you know, outside of the family. I'm really curious if this season we're gonna learn what the relationship is and like what the curse is.
It's like the fact that there is a cat when it's not in the zodiac, but it's still included, means that there's like these peripheral creatures or beings surrounding the main members of the zodiac. Akihito could be one of those that we just don't know about.
He could be the table that they all ate at.
I mentioned that old man thing.
We got
But yeah,
backstory on Kyo's bracelet as well.
I made a human bone.
An ancient monk
Super
had to be
monk.
sacrificed in order to make it. Fill it with power.
Had to make a sacrifice. I don't know if it was like his whole.
Well, no, I think what they implied was like it used the bones and the blood, but also a life had to be put into it from like a spell, basically. I think that's what they implied. I wonder if that has to happen, if it needs to be refilled, or if it's just like that happened once, or if it's just a story. But there definitely is magic in this world. So, and it certainly is. I doubt it's just a placebo.
I guess what I keep wondering with the whole relationship is, I mean, Kyo's characterization and such, and the way he has a place that he kind of semi-fits in to the story of the Zodiac. If Akihito is another one of these creatures or cursed beings or spirit things, when did that spirit kind of like latch on, become, or when did Akihito join with this story of the Zodiac, like through thousands and thousands of years?
I mean,
if it wasn't at the beginning, if
they've said it's a curse, so I have to assume that either he or one of his forefathers did something to get cursed, and that's how it all started. So like he's the mortal part of it, the one that's cursed, and then his curse just sort of fans out like roots and affects others.
He can't give love but demands it from everyone else.
I don't know. Find out, maybe.
We need Utani and oh no,
Wave girl.
Wave Girl, Hanajima and her brother Megumi to like come in just like like she's got magic. She's playing like untrained.
Do you trust Shigure's plan?
Shigure wants to upset the status quo. I hope that Shigure knows enough about like the history and the whole process and like what's been going on to know like to be careful enough to try to not make it worse.
So my concern is, like everyone in this family has been broken. Shigure,
He seems a little mad now.
no, it's like he's changed the least, and he hasn't really had any heart-to-hearts with Toru or anything. You know, like I feel like almost everyone else, except for Rin, who we're just getting introduced to, and Kureno, like everyone else has had some of their barriers broken down by Toru, except for Shigure, who's been with us the longest.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I feel like Shigure is the reason that she came into this story at all. Like, I don't know what sort of influence he has or something, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit more of a like magic connection there or something like that. Like he is the only character that has been like, I want change. And that agent of change is her. Like of course he hasn't changed yet because he's already made that decision and like come to that conclusion. It's like I want change. The way this family works is bad. I need someone who is the complete opposite of Akihito to come in here and fix all of our broken souls. Like,
well, she's doing a good job.
I don't even know if I doubt even if it's never explained, like it could be that like he never none of them know that they even have that sort of connection with like humans that are born under their sign or something. Like there could be a lot of lost knowledge. I don't know. Or it could just be pointless,
I doubt it.
non-canon stuff.
No, I think they have a pretty good idea, and there's a lot that they know that they haven't told us. In terms of like the curse, especially Shigure and Hattori, like the older ones.
Well, in that case, like I trust. I trust Shigure. I don't always trust his process, but he's had his finger on the pulse of possibilities and change a lot longer than the rest of them. The rest of them just been trying to survive.
Well, he also tried it once before and failed too.
How?
He was in love with a woman, right? And it didn't work out. And he tried to... I thought like he tried to make it with Hattori and his wife. Like make that work, but that didn't work either.
I mean, I think that's what like made him decide. It's like this is my 30-year goal now. Revenge. Change. So... The next person to break under Toru's love would be Rin, and then finally Kureno.
I think so.
Do you think Uotani's actually gonna have any role in that? I mean, there's quite an age difference there.
Is there?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they explained it earlier. There was like, what was it? She's like 17.
Yeah, 17 or 18.
Yeah. And I thought he was like 30 or something.
He's 26.
Oh, 26. That's not too bad, but still, if it's 17, then it's
Is it in Japan?
I mean, are they in Japan? Presumably.
Yes. They're definitely in Japan.
Yes.
I forget what the formula is. But what's the formula?
There's a formula?
Yeah, I don't have my phone. Do you have your phone?
Yeah. How old is too old or too young?
Yeah, look up like dating age formula.
Half of your age plus 7 to define the minimum age of a partner, and your age minus 7 times 2 to define the maximum age of partner.
So if she's 17, then it's 1 year off, right? Because 26 divided by 2 is 13, plus 7 is 20. And she's 17, so it's a little out of that range.
It's slightly. But I mean, she's already living by herself. She's already like hit a couple of those, maturity barriers.
No. She lives with her dad.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought she lived alone.
No, don't you remember their backstory?
Yeah, that was backstory.
Yeah, but no, she
in
lives
the
with
very
her now.
first episode. Toru talked about how she couldn't live with Uotani because Uotani lives alone and doesn't have enough space anyway.
No. She definitely lives with her dad. Definitely.
I can't remember these.
Because they have a much better relationship now. And like, there was like...
Because they're separated.
There was like near present time where she was on the phone from her house, I'm pretty sure, and her dad was there.
I mean, Hanajima has a home and a brother and parents.
Yeah.
Presumably, it's like the Addams family house.
I'm positive Uotani still
family.
lives with her dad.
But I don't think Uotani lives with anybody.
No, I'm positive.
Okay.
Rap can correct us as needed. It's not gonna say. I wonder if her sandcastle game is going to increase to an acceptable level.
I don't know. If what Akihito was talking about, like, we'll just keep her here, like, locked up and alone and lonely and that sounds suspiciously like what they do to the cat, for sure. And why would that be the ultimate punishment in Akito's eyes? Like, has that happened to her?
I mean, I think that's what they crave is connection, adoration. And so the worst nightmare in their mind is not having that.
Yeah.
I think. Well,
it was complicated enough without adding magic. Like, all of these relationships, all of these people, all the, like, spider threads everywhere, but then magic. Now it's complicated.
we were like these last few episodes, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's all very concentrated. We're all here together. We can increase the storylines for multiple characters. And I'm curious about Reen and what she's going through and how that's going to get resolved.
I'm looking forward to seeing Kyo just pull it off tomorrow.
The bracelet?
No, do everything exactly how he wants to.
Well, he's going to
Control test.
Akito,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I see. So not get
He knows
aggravated.
he knows how important it is. Yuki knows how important it is for him too. I feel like Yuki kind of messed up the whole pep talk thing. I feel like that could have been a pep talk. Could have been. It just was like,
I am better than you. You're so cool, Yuki.
Haru just like salt. Oh, beautiful. I loved it. That dynamic. Those three are hilarious.
All right. Well, let's see where it goes next time.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching our reaction to Fruits Basket. If you want to see up to the next 4 right now, you can over at patreon.com/blindwave. Also, be sure to check out twitch.tv/blindwave, where we stream video games, and we also do a podcast live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. Bye.